All right, hello and welcome back. We're going to start off today by heading over to
Alexander
the
pulls out his
new
magic
island,
map.
that being the Isle of Mists. And we are going to go there for a very brief period of time.
Alexander feels a strange pulling sensation.
Because in truth, we are just planning on collecting a couple items and then making our leave.
From the northeast come the sounds of mysterious drums and chanting.
So we head anywhere in that direction.
Alexander sees nothing of interest there.
Things will not go well for us.
Alexander has no need to carry around large rocks.
Forgot that I wasn't on the legs. We need to head in this direction first. So here, there's a couple of items. One, we have this scythe hanging inside here, which we're going to grab.
Alexander takes the scythe.
I'm just going to take a look at this.
A communal fire pit occupies a place of honor in the center of the little village. The fire pit, naturally enough, contains coal. The coals are cold. That's odd, because Alexander definitely smells the smoke of an open fire close by.
Interesting. We're going to keep that in mind. Let's just hold on to the scythe for the time being. And we're immediately going to leave.
From the northeast come the sounds of mysterious drums.
Yes.
Alexander pulls out his magic map.
And now we're actually going to go and explore the Isle of the Beast.
Alexander feels a strange...
We collected that shield last time around, which I think will help us against this archer that seems to wish us harm. Dance through the hot puddle. And carry on. Now let's get our shield out.
Alexander decides to pass through the gate, preparing the shield just in case. The magic arrow completely shatters the shield. Good thing the arrow didn't hit Alexander.
We'll take that. Count that as a win.
Alexander walks forward to step onto the gazebo. But the rose hedges on either side of the path, sensing an intruder's presence, reach out their vines and blend together. The path is blocked.
If only we had some kind of giant cutting thing that is designed specifically for a lot of brush.
Alexander wields the scythe, determined to get past the magical rose hedges. The leaves fly as Alexander tries to cut the branches faster than they can grow back together. He sees light.
Just hacking away.
He's through.
All right.
Who dares enter Beast's garden?
My name is Alexander. I didn't mean to disturb your private garden.
No. And yet, monsieur, you could hardly have accidentally broken through the 3 enchanted traps of the Isle of the Beast.
That's a fair point.
I suppose it is simply my nature to break through enchanted traps.
You must be a prince, then. I know the nature of princes all too well. This face you see before you is hideous, is it not?
Well, for the face of a beast, it is really quite noble.
Ha!
Well
I'm
said.
glad you like it, for you will soon own one just like it. I too was once a pretty prince, caring for nothing but adventuring and rescuing fair maidens. But I rankled one too many evil hags. One dark night, I was turned into this obscenity you see before you, warped in shape and trapped on this enchanted island over 100 years ago.
Surely there is a way off this island.
Oh, surely. You broke in, did you not? And yet think, where would I go clad so eloquently as I am with this silk and this pelt? You see, my prison is also my sanctuary. You are the first to break through the barriers in lo these many years. That is, except for the druids who stole my heirloom coat of arms.
if there's any way I can help.
Help?
Another theft.
You? I'm afraid you don't understand. The enchanted barriers were a warning and protection for you more than for me. Your prize for forcing your way past them is to join me in this dire life. By the laws of this sorcery, you are doomed to be trapped in the form of a beast. Your reward for broaching this garden is to be my slave, a slave as beastly as I am. You have only a few hours of humanity left.
But that's not possible. There must be some way to break the enchantment. Spells always have a weakness somewhere.
The enchantment you are under is tied to my own. Or the sorceress left me a way out. But I'm afraid it was only her final bitter joke. You see, I need only find a maiden to join me here, to share my castle, my life, willingly. Take another look at me. You can't help but admire the hag's terrible cruelty and cunning.
I shall try to find such a maid, for Cassima's sake.
Truly? How determined of you. I personally would not waste my last few hours as a man on an impossible errand. However, you may do as you please. I give you this token. It's my family ring, and the only heirloom I have left. If perchance you should... if you think you have found a maid...
I shall give her this ring.
Yes, she must accept it of her own free will. By doing so, she accepts me. Not that you shall find anyone, mind you. Your time is short. Count the minutes on your fingers while your fingers you have, pretty prince. Your master will await you.
And so yes, while it's not actually ours, we do have a fairly limited length of time to find a maid
Alexander takes a magnificent white rose from the rose hedges.
to live with the beast. And luckily, we happen to know a maid who is currently living with people who are quite bestial, and perhaps might be willing to trade in her lot for someone who only happens to look like a beast. And even more, she happens to love roses. So perhaps the combination of those two things will enable us to convince her to join our cause.
The girl is too shy and fearful to talk to a stranger, especially a tall, handsome one such as Alexander.
Well, maybe we have a way to entice her. We give her this white rose.
Pardon me, maid. I hope you don't think me forward, but I see that you like roses. I thought you might, perhaps, like a fresh white rose.
Alexander can see the conflict in the girl's pretty face as she fights between her distrust of him and her desire for the white rose. The rose wins.
Oh, I shouldn't, sir, but it is so lovely. I've never seen a rose of white. It looks so pale and delicate. Wherever did you find one of such a color?
There are many hedges of them on the Isle of the Beast, and they grow together like magic.
Oh, truly? What an adventure that must be to see them. But I should not speak so, especially to a stranger. Thank you for the rose, though, kind sir.
I guess maybe she needs to hear a little bit more.
Alexander has a thought about the serving girl. He decides to bring up the subject of beast with her.
Let me tell you about the place where the white roses grow. The Isle of the Beast is an enchanted place. There's a path running through a deep forest. The path crosses 3 magic blockades, set to keep all visitors away. At the center, lives a tremendous beast.
Really? Magic blockades? How exciting! What kind of a beast? Is it very terrifying and ferocious?
It is a beast that walks on 2 legs and dresses like a prince. It speaks with the voice of a man.
A beast that talks and wears clothes? How is that possible? Is the beast magic too?
Not magical, enchanted. Beast was once a prince, but a witch trapped him in the form of a beast and set him on the island. There he lives in a castle in the midst of a maze.
How terrible! Imagine how lonely he must be.
It is a very lonely prospect, isn't it? Oh, I have met him, you see. He is indeed ferocious, but who would not be?
He really exists? Oh, how it breaks my heart. If I could, I would tend to such a beast. Such a beast might find comfort in a kind face. Do you not think it so?
Oh, I think it's so. I very much think it's so.
He's so soft-spoken.
You would not be afraid of him?
Afraid? Maybe at first. But how silly of me to speak so. The roses in this little yard are the only magic I will ever see.
I could take you there. In fact, I would owe you my life if you would go. If you truly wish to go.
You are serious? I could leave here? Oh, I have always dreamt of leaving. But to actually go... This is the only home I have ever known.
Home is a hard place to leave, even if you're unhappy there.
But I will go. If I can help him, I must go.
Seems that her nobility rivals our own.
Is there nothing you wish to take with you?
There is nothing.
Then take this ring. It is his. He will be pleased if you would wear it.
Why, it's the most beautiful thing I have ever seen. Thank you kindly, sir.
Beauty! Where do you think you're going?
To a place where roses grow, and to someone who truly needs me.
I see you wear my ring. You willingly agreed to spend your life here with me? Do you know what that means?
Yes, my lord, I do. I have been touched by your story.
Pity alone need not sentence you to endure this face.
Oh, but it is a gentle face, and kind.
You look at me so sweetly and are not repulsed. Oh, by the light of your eyes, my spirit soars.
His voice sounded like it was clearing up.
It is broken!
Oof.
I
little
am pleased to
pompadour
have served
thing.
you, my lord. Do you still wish me to stay?
What? Speak not such nonsense, Beauty. Do you think that I learned nothing of true love during my time here? You are my queen.
Ooh.
Oh, my clothes! This gown!
How well it suits your noble heart.
Alexander, how can I ever repay you? I have nothing to offer except my gratitude. But please, take these old clothes. Perhaps you'll find someone in need during your travels.
You have already repaid me by your example of courage, Beauty, and by your friendship, I hope.
You will always have our friendship and loyalty, Prince Alexander. But from a fellow adventurer, take some advice. If you find your true love, protect her with your life. Fear all beasts without the redeeming humanity of love.
Oh.
And to aid you, accept my mirror. Now that my life is no longer hung in false shadows, I have no need for it. Give it to someone with nothing to fear from the truth it reveals.
Thank you. I wish you both well.
Come, beauty. Let me take you home.
Given where we ultimately end up and what we ultimately end up doing with that mirror, it's an interesting way to have phrased it, to give it to someone who has nothing to fear from the truth of what it shows. But for the time being, as I look up here, I see some falling water, which I'm pretty sure we need. And not this one. The Make Rain spell requires falling water. So we get a few drops of salt water, not from the sea. We have that. We have the vial of sacred water. And now we need some falling water. So we'll put both of those, I think, into our teapot. And then we will speak this incantation to prepare it. And then all we will have to do afterwards is boil it. So, where's our water and our teacup?
There's no reason to put that in the
Oh,
teacup.
not the teacup. Sorry. Teapot. This guy.
Alexander pours the contents of the oracle's vial into the hunter's lamp with the baby's tears. The vial, now empty of its sacred fluid, disintegrates.
And we'll take the teapot and hang it over the falling water.
Alexander fills the hunter's lamp to the brim with the fountain water.
And now we will speak our incantation.
There's no reason to put that. Alexander prepares to enchant the hunter's lamp with the Make Rain spell incantation.
Clouds of thunder, shafts of light, come and sup with me tonight. Waters 3 have I for tea, brew a tempest now for me.
The lamp in Alexander's hand gives a little perk. He hopes the spell works despite his makeshift teapot.
Well, looks like Alexander's spell casting skills have not waned too much from his previous adventures. Hopefully it doesn't get set off by going through this hot water. I don't think it's quite enough to cause the lamp to boil. Now, there is one more thing that we're going to do today, which is actually also very cutscene based. So, a lot of cutscene style things today. But we're going to head back to the Isle of the Crown.
Alexander feels...
We're going to trade in our tinderbox. We're going to see if we can't make a new friend. This is something we could have done earlier. Actually, hang on. Well, let's get this tinderbox.
Good day, Prince Alexander.
How fare you, good merchant?
I could use more business, if the truth be known.
Fair enough. I didn't actually want to talk to you. I just wanted to trade this in.
Would you mind if I traded this in?
Of course, Prince Alex, please. True.
Alexander looks...
And we're going to take this Mockingjay
That
back. Or
Really
Nightingale,
cool. Thank
rather.
you.
I don't know why I insist on calling it a Mockingjay. And at this point, we could proceed to one of the two end games, which you can tell because that gentleman who trades the lamps has returned. But we are not going to do so just yet. Because first, hopefully I'm not
Alexander...
wasting my time here, but I think there is something we can do.
Alexander...
Which I meant to do before we left, but forgot. head back up here and see if we can't get another rose.
Alexander takes a magnificent white rose.
Excellent. All right. Now let's head back to the Isle of the Crown. And as I said, we're going to make a new friend. Okay. Oops, that's what I wanted. Map.
Alexander.
Isle of the
Alexander.
Crown. And if we head up this way, and we play our mechanical nightingale, which, I don't know if we have to click on this guy or just play it.
Alexander winds the mechanical nightingale and places it on the ground.
If we hearken
The
back
mechanical nightingale sings a sweet, tinny tune. The real nightingale in the tree cocks her head and listens intently. The nightingale flies to a lower branch and looks at Alexander curiously, as if she were deciding that this human might not be so bad.
Yes, we think back to Jallo, who told us about the nightingale friend of Princess Cassima. Perhaps we can let her know that we're here.
Alexander holds out his insignia ring to the nightingale, hoping she perhaps is the nightingale that Jallo spoke of, and that she might be able to take the ring to Cassima. The ring is the one thing he has that might alert Cassima to his presence on the Isles.
Note the golden-eyed snake.
The nightingale swoops down and grabs the ring. She flies off towards the castle, perhaps to Cassima.
Sing, sing. What have you got in your mouth, my pretty? A gold ring? Sing, sing. Where did you get this? Realm of Daventry. But this is Alexander's ring. Oh, my soul. He must be here. Sing, sing. I wish you could tell me what you've seen. Is he really here, then? On this very island? Oh, if only I could leave this castle as easily as you. Take this ribbon, Sing Sing. If you know where he is, return it to him. Please be careful, Alexander. It is so dangerous, and yet I could not wish you away.
All right.
The little bird makes a delivery.
So we got this token from Cassima.
It's a red velvet hair ribbon. Could it be? Could it possibly belong to Cassima herself?
Or am I merely wishing it were so? Oh.
And then there's at least one other item we can give, but I think we can also send up this rose.
Alexander holds out the rose, hoping that the bird will deliver it to the same place she took the ring, in the chance that the receiver might truly be Cassima. The nightingale swoops down, grabs the rose, and takes it towards the castle.
A white rose. How beautiful. It must be from Alexander. How I wish that I could see him with my own eyes, but Abdul will never allow it. Be careful, Sing Sing. Do not allow anyone to see you with Alexander.
The little bird returns to her branch without the rose.
And one last item. The poem that struck Alexander so.
Alexander has a love poem.
Yes. All right.
There's no reason to use that there. There's no reason. There's no reason.
I guess we only need to send one of the two. Fair enough. All right. Well, as I said, this is the point when we could advance to the end game. It would result in the quote-unquote bad ending. but I am planning on showing both, so I think the next video will be showing off that ending, though I may wait till the end. Either way, this is the kind of branch point of the game, so when we come back, we will be exploring that further. But until then, see ya.